So welcome to this hormonal reflexology yoga. We're going to be looking at some pressure points in the feet and in the hands to help release any tension that you may be experiencing with your hormones, and in particular reflexology points. So we're going to just start in cross-legged position, and you might want a couple of blocks, a blanket and a couple of pillows. You will need access to a wall because we will be going into legs up the wall pose. So let's start in this pose, easy pose, where we're just going to bring some movement into the shoulders and the neck. So coming into easy pose, hands face down on your knees, just tilt the chin towards the chest and just keep your eyes open for this start of practice today. So just notice your breath, notice where you are, notice any distant noises, any noises within the building that you're in or the room that you're in, and then just let it go. And let's focus on the noise of our breath as we start to control it. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in, just allow that breath to fill you up. And as you breathe out, release any negative thoughts, negative patterns, because they don't serve you well. So today's practice is all about connecting with these reflexology points to understand your body more and understand that connection between your feet, your hands and your body as a whole. We have certain points in the feet and the hands that can really help to focus towards hormonal health, and in particular for menopause. So we're going to just do a little bit of a warm up first and foremost before we get into our first posture. So just draw the head up and continue your breathing. So breathing in and breathing out through the nose. And then let's just take our fingertips to our shoulders and just start to move the elbows in circles, just to bring some movement into the shoulders. Keeping your gaze straight ahead, circling those elbows, front and back, just allowing that tension to release. And then we'll go the other way, so bringing them back and forward now. Seeing if you can make that circle a little bit bigger. Well done. So now we'll just do a couple of twists now. So just taking your right hand down behind you, take your left hand on your right knee and then draw yourself up and just take your twist to the right. Don't try to force it, just allow it to happen. Allow that right shoulder to come back in space and the left shoulder to come through to the front. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, come back to center and we'll go to the other side. Left hand down behind you, right hand on left knee, drawing yourself up on your inhale. And on your exhale, take the twist deeper. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to center. So just allow the shoulders to be fluid here for a moment. Just start to do some hip circles. So pressing the hands into the knees. Just moving your body around. Bending the elbows. Just bringing some energy into the hips. And let's go the other way. Okay, so we're going to come into a forward fold with a little bit of a twist, but we're going to do one leg at a time. So if you're sitting on a brick like I am, remove it now. But you can sit on your blanket if you want a little bit of height. So just remove the flesh of your buttocks away. And then let's start with the right leg. So bring that left leg in. And if you're like me, I like to have my ankle on a blanket for protection. Then bring this right leg in. So you are going to come into a forward fold, but with this leg very bent, because you need to get to your foot. So we're going to just have a look at this big toe. So what I want you to do is take your fingers of your left hand towards your big toe and just start to press using your left thumb. Just start to press on the top, where that big toe connects with the foot. And then you've got your right hand, which you can start to massage just at the front of all the other toes. So just start to see how that feels. Start to press where the toes join the foot. So this area is connected to your head and your neck. So if you've got a headache, this is a brilliant place to start, rather than popping paracetamol or any other kind of headache relief that you may use. Just come and start to gently, you don't need to force it, just gently massaging that big toe. And then we'll do the other side. So just take your left leg out, right leg in, bending that knee, coming into a forward fold. So just pressing over this left knee. And again, start to use your 2 fingers on your right hand behind your big toe, pressing in, massaging into that area, and then massaging all the other toes. And just take this time just to notice, do you feel any clicking or any area that feels just a little bit, it's just a bit niggly? It could be that point in your neck or in your shoulder or your eyes, so it's covering your whole head here, underneath your eye sockets, all around your jaw, your neck, going into your shoulders. So just trying to introduce some relaxation into that area through your feet. Well done. So let's take both legs out for a moment, extend the legs out, and then we'll come into a forward fold. So breathing in, lift yourself up, bring your arms up above your head, and then come forward in your forward fold. So you might only get to your shins, but you might get to the sides of your feet or your piss fingers around your toes. Drawing yourself up, keeping that spine nice and long, and then just tilt the head so it's in line with your neck, your spine. Pressing the heels of your feet away from you. And then start to connect with your big toes. Breathing in and breathing out. It's okay to have a bend in the knees here. Let's take a couple of more breaths. And release, coming all the way back up. We're going to come into a cat-cow now, so just scoot your legs around and let's take our knees off the blanket and pop the tops of the feet on. Hands in front, wrists under shoulders. Tuck those toes now, and I want you to press those toes into your blanket. Really press and push back, so you're almost as if you're wanting to lift your knees off the yoga mat, and you're pressing your hands and you're pressing all 10 fingers into the ground. You should feel a nice stretch in those toes, in that area where you've just been pressing. And release. Relax the feet down and let's just come into some cat-cow. So if you prefer to move yourself back so you've got some cushion for your knees, do that now. And then we'll just come into a nice flow, breathing in for our cow and exhale for cat. So just coming through with breath, just moving that spine. So by bringing that relaxation technique into the feet, you've now started to ignite the reflexology point to release tension in the head, in the neck. But now by introducing our cat-cow, we're moving that energy through the spine, through the organs, and through the hips. So we're getting a really good dose of relaxation for our hormones. Well done. So come to sit back on your knees, palms facing down, and then let's just take the chin back towards the chest for a moment, just to get a nice stretch in the back of that neck. And then from here we're going to come into a seated wide-legged posture. So again, you might want your blanket. So I'm going to set up, but I'm going to turn around so that I'm facing you. So if we come onto the blanket and take our legs as wide as what feels comfortable. Now I am going to be asking you to reach over for this big toe. So be mindful of that when you take your posture. So we're going to do one at a time. So let's do the right leg first. So taking your elbow on the top of your knee allows you to relax this forearm down, and then you'll be able to reach that big toe with your 2-piece fingers. So wrap them around. Now I want you to take your attention to this hip. Don't allow it to lift up. Allow it to press down, so your groin is pressing down into the mat. And I want you to lift these toes on the opposite foot up towards your head. So you might find that you can't actually see it in here. Let me just put that forward a bit. You might find that that foot comes up off the mat. That's okay, because you're going to get a nice stretch in the back of that left leg. So settle in, allow the head to come over on the side, and you can do what you like with this hand. You can either pop it down in the middle or on this thigh. But notice where you're starting to feel tension releasing, or where it's starting to pinch. For me, it's my right thigh. But we want to be taking our focus to this side because we need to make sure this is down and rooted on the ground. And again, start to bring some connection with that big toe. You're not just grabbing it, you're actually connecting with the pressure points in that toe. Well done. Let's do the other side. So just draw yourself up, take your elbow on your left knee, palm facing up, and then grabbing your peace fingers around your left big toe. Draw this right foot up, pressing that right hip down as you twist over. So it's quite nice to have this loose hand in your hip area here, or if you don't want to be coming too far back, then take your hand in the middle. So try both, see what works best for you on this side. It might be completely different. Remember to keep that right toes flexed up towards the ceiling. Breathing in and breathing out. So again, we're just bringing that connection to this left big toe to release any tension, reducing cortisol, really helping our parasympathetic nervous system to just relax. Well done. Bring yourself back up to center. You might feel a bit longer now. Let's just come forward on our elbows if that's accessible. If not, your hands. So coming forward on your elbows, drop the head and draw those feet up and back. So you should start to feel a nice release in the back of the hamstrings, in the glutes. So just enjoying that stretch. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up, and then we're going to come up onto the wall. So let's just come all the way through onto the wall. I'm going to leave my blanket here, and I'm also going to get a pillow ready just to have for my head. But I want this blanket here just for my back. So once you've got yourself up against the wall, scoot your hips around, and then your head can go on your pillow, and then start to take your legs wide, and again flex those toes. So your heels and the back of your calves should be pressed up against the wall. You don't need your buttocks to be against the wall if they're not. And start to deepen your breath. And then from here, what I want you to do is, let's use our left hand first. So with your right hand, take your thumb into the middle of your left hand and just start to give it a massage. Just start to release any tension in the adrenal glands. And if you go towards your thumb, where your thumb joins your hand, again, you can press in here where that connects. And that's a similar point to your big toe. So if you've got a headache and you're in a meeting at work, or you're stuck in traffic, this can be something nice to do whilst you're sat waiting, just as a bit of a release. It can help you to focus a bit more. So sometimes it takes a while to actually get that point, but when you get that point, you'll know it. You can feel like a nice release, and you'll be like, ah. We'll do the other hand. So your left thumb into the middle of your right palm. Start to press that in. All the other fingers are on the back of your hand. So just allowing any tension to release. And then the thumb. Sometimes you do need quite a bit of pressure. Well done. So bringing your legs back into center now. So knees together, big toes might be together. And then flex those feet. So the feet are flexed, so they're facing up against the ceiling. And then I want you to just take your arms out away from you in a T. So if that doesn't work for you, if it's a little bit too painful for your shoulders, then use your blocks. So you can put your blocks underneath the forearms. Just pop them underneath. That just gives you a little bit of height. And then just start to soften the eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. And notice all of the points of your body against the ground beneath you. And how that feels. Notice if you're feeling any release in your feet, in your hands. And I'm going to leave you here today with some music, and I'm not going to bring you back out. So this is where you're going to stay in your own Shavasana. And the music will fade out, giving you time to deepen your breath and bring yourself back into your room. And then you'll just slowly drop your legs over to one side. But this gives you the opportunity to just stay here for as long as you like. If you're about to go to sleep, about to go to bed, then just let this drift over you. And then when it comes to coming out, just simply drop your legs and slowly take yourself off to bed.